Hmm, my teacher told me to use NoodleTools. I wonder how you do that. Assuming you've already made your account, the first thing you want to do from the Blue Valley Middle School website is go to the library page, then click on the research button. Once the research button opens, go to the NoodleTools link on the right-hand side. Then log into NoodleTools. Remember, you should have set up your account using the same username and password that you used to log into your Chromebook from either home or school. This takes you to the NoodleTools projects page. You can tell that you are logged in correctly by looking in the upper right hand corner, and if you see your username there, then you are in your account. From the projects page, you will go to New Project, and from there, you will name the project that you're about to start. In this case, it's a 7th grade environmental project. One of the nice things about having a paid subscription to NoodleTools is that you can have multiple projects going at one time. Now we can start filling in some information about our paper, such as the research question and the thesis. In this case, our research question is going to be, will the increased levels of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere cause plants on Earth to grow at a faster rate? That's what I'm going to hopefully investigate with this paper. Then I come up with my thesis or main claim or hypothesis, whatever you want to call it, where I state if carbon dioxide levels are increased in the environment, then plant growth will increase, or plant growth rates will increase. In other words, it'll grow faster. As you can see, there's some other options I can do in NoodleTools too. I can actually have the date I started the paper. I can write the paper in NoodleTools if I wanted to, but your teacher will probably want you to write it in Canvas or Google Docs. I can make my paper public so I can share it or collaborate, and I can also create a to-do list where I have the things that I need to get done in the paper created list style. If I click on the Projects button, it will take me back to the main page, and you can see the project we created is sitting there, and it will remain there until I remove it. This project will be there until high school unless I tell it to delete. Now, if I go to the dashboard, there's where I entered the information, so I can always go back and refer to what my research question is or what my thesis is. But let's say that I want to start putting in sources of information. So I click on the Sources button. If I found some information in, let's say I used a book that I got from the library on plants, and I wanted to use that in my project, what I would do is I would come over here to where it says New Source, and I would click on it. And notice that several different types of sources, like a website, a print or in-hand source, a viewed or heard live, or an ebook or file come up, or even other. But I'm going to say, since this was a book that I used, that I go to print or in-hand. In NoodleTools, print or in-hand means a book, a pamphlet, a magazine. But when you select print, you'll see that there are literally dozens of different print resources that you can use. But we're going to select book since this is a book that I'm using. Now you'll notice that once I hit book, a page with all kinds of blanks with information about that book pops up. It wants all kinds of things like the edition, the year, the publisher, the title, all the information about the book we used in the project. But NoodleTools gives us a shortcut, and matter of fact, it's a pretty important shortcut. You'll notice at the top there's a blank called the ISBN number. Every book printed for use in North America has an ISBN number. Let's take a look at that book we used in our project. We took the book How Plants Grow off the shelf, and once we have that book, we open up the cover and we see something called the title page. Once you see the title page, turn one more page, and usually on the opposite side of the title page is all kinds of information about the book, and you'll notice one bit of information is called the ISBN. Here's how NoodleTools has made this very easy. What you do once you have found the ISBN number in the book is go to the ISBN number section on NoodleTools and type that 10 or 13-digit number in the blank. So the number that we had on the ISBN, the cover page of the book, we put our cursor there, and 076140452, and then we add an X, and then we hit search, and you'll see down below that the information for the book automatically goes into the NoodleTools page. You click on that, you identify that it's the correct book, and then you hit on import, and the next thing you know, you've got your information all filled in. You didn't have to do any of that. NoodleTools did it for you. And once you see that the information is correct, you can click on Cite and then save it. And here is your citation for the book on NoodleTools. That is the correct format for citing if you used information from that book. Very often you'll need to cite a source that isn't a book. NoodleTools can help you with that as well. If you're going to cite something that gave you information that wasn't a book, you'll go to the New Source, click on that, and instead of clicking on Print or In Hand, you have a choice of going to a database, a website, something that you viewed or heard live, or even electronic applications like files or ebooks or things such as that. So we're going to say we're going to cite a website. So we'll click on the website, and you'll see that dozens of options come up because there are so many things that can be broadcast on a website. You could do a film that is broadcast on a website, or a photograph, or perhaps a podcast. But what you're going to cite most of the time is in this box, which we're going to do just a web page. When you click on web page, a page will open up with lots of blanks, and the more of these blanks that you can fill in, the better your citation would be. Your URL is your web address, the date that the site was made, the date that you accessed it, the contributors are the people who made the website, the publishers are the organization that contributed to making the website. You're going to find that you will not be able to fill in a lot of these blanks. That's okay. A lot of times the information simply isn't there, but you should always try to fill in as much of the information as you possibly can. And then once you have the information filled in to the blanks, you come up here to the top and you hit save, and it will complete that citation for you. Another common resource that is often cited is called a database. A database can also be cited using BZBib, just going to New Source, and this time selecting Database, and you'll see another long list of options presented to you. Most of these are going to be in the blue box that you use, but there are a few, such as a book or a reference source or a map or chart that you might sometimes cite using a database. But this time, for this demonstration, we're going to do a reprinted article in a database. We click where it came from, which in this case would be a journal, and then you'll see another long list of blanks given to you that you fill in as much information about the database as you can, such as the URL, the month or day it was published, the month or day that you access it, the first name, middle name, or last name of the author, the name of the journal or the database it was presented in, contributors to the article, like people who also helped publish it, the editor, lots of different types of information. The chances are very good you won't fill in all those blanks, but you do need to strive to get as many of those blanks filled in as possible. And once you have those blanks filled in, then you go up to the Save button, and NoodleTools will create your citation. However, it is important to remember, though, that one of the advantages of using a database is that it will do the citations for you, and you can export it right to NoodleTools. When you have a database article you want, click on Export, click on NoodleTools, then hit Save, and the citation for that database article will go directly into NoodleTools in the correct format. So that's how you use NoodleTools. As always, if you have any questions, contact your librarian at Blue Valley Middle School, Mr. Hume, at wehume@bluevalleyk12.org. Good luck and happy noodle tooling!